Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, world. Good morning, America. And good morning, everyone. Talking Chicago, Philly. We're talking our growing segment in California. We're talking all of the social justice folks around the world who, just woke up this morning. Hey, I wanted to welcome you to the Amir Shakur Speaks Morning Show, sponsored by ASN News. And let's give those guys a little pub. ASN News, and it's not me trying to knock myself or put myself in a better position, but it's just we're waking up the morning in the day and getting your day started off right. So who better to do a morning show than me? Hey, kudos up. And setting the posts, setting the goals, waking them up, establishing authority, setting the day with intention, and peace to power. I always say this, but peace and power to the early risers and the truth seekers. We gotta get up out of bed, and like I always say, I do more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. It's May 12th, y'all. May 12th, 2026, and another minute, another second, another moment. That you can't make up. So we got to start the day with intention and gain as we go forward. Positivity. All right. Journalistic accountability is what I can give you. A better approach for most news, not just the big old pie in the sky stuff, but how it affects you, and that's what we want to do. All right. Civic engagement is what it's called. Civic engagement, folks. So good morning, and welcome to Amir Shakur Speaks. And I almost said good morning, America, but I held myself back. Okay. We're the front line of transparency, and at ASN, we hold systems that govern us accountable, right? And then I tell you, you're listening to and rocking with the sharpest mind in urban media. Okay, all right. I didn't say it; somebody else said it, but I'm gonna rock with it. Okay, all right. From the heart of the city, the ABS Studios, Chicago, and it's morning. And again, we are here. So we want to get right into it. And welcome to the VIPs in the VIP room. I see you. I see you out there strong and proud and loud. Keep standing up and speaking out, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. So this morning, we're going to get right into the news segment. But, before we do that, you guys know how we do. You got to like, subscribe, and share, or share, like, and subscribe, or subscribe, share, and like. All right? Whichever one you choose to do, it's up to you. But do one of those, please, for me. All right? Okay. All right. So here we are back again. And let's see what we got. We got Sprewing. We're going to get it going. And let's see. Doesn't look good for Mr. Trump. And let's go ahead and get right into it. And, he's finagling this Iran war controversy. Or we don't call it a war, guys. We call it an escalation like never before. Escalation, right? So, and the reports are that, he's meeting with the president of China, traveling to Beijing this week to urge President Xi to pressure Iran into a deal. Iran has accused the U.S. of breaching the truce, while the U.S. is demanding a rollback of Iran's nuclear activities. So, same story, same crying in the wind, same crying in the wilderness, and nothing seems to be changing. So what gives? What gives, guys? And I'm gonna tell you, right now, if you really are waiting on, this particular deal to happen, I'd probably say don't hold your breath, because might not be too much holding for you left, because it's been a rough hill battle, and will a deal ever happen? Potentially, maybe not. But I mean, something will happen, and something is happening. And what's happening is you guys are waking up. The American public is waking up, and let's knock off the silliness and the foolishness and the okie doke, and let's speak truth to power. What it is. This war is an unnecessary escalation. And, I don't want to mix my words, but let me say this, and I don't want to minimize my words either, but let's say this. We are not in the best hands with this administration from the standpoint of a presidential administration that's leading the American public. It's not capable leadership. It's not accountable leadership. It's not the kind of leadership that, you would hope for to make the change that you need for your life. I always say this. I want you to quote me. The Block Club president probably could do more for you than the president of the United States right now. So keep that in mind. And we're gonna get the image and the video clip ready. I believe it's coming from Al Jazeera. Oh, and by the way, forget my manners. Welcome the Al Jazeera International News Network. Thank you for allowing me to post on your sites, and appreciate y'all. And thank you to the UK, my folks in the UK, and folks out there in good old Ghana. Ghana is, it's a growing platform of mine, and I want to, I don't say enough for you folks. And Canada, the Canadian folks, you guys just have Barack Obama out there, and I appreciate that. I gave him a warm welcome, and he deserved it, and that was good to see. So, Canada, I'm rocking with you too. Let's keep it moving, keep it going strong. But anyway, do we have the video clip up that we can share of the Trump visit or anything of that nature? Let's see. I think we do. We got it. Give us a second. Okay. And the question of the hour is, how will the United States or Iran respond to this ongoing proposal, right? And that's the nuclear talks are convening. Will diplomacy win the moment, or will something else win the moment? That is the question of the hour. So let's go to Al Jazeera English and let's see exactly what it is. And I'm gonna be quiet and pipe down a little bit, and we'll let the news speak for itself.
Studies, that's a think tank in Qatar. He joins me here. Thank you so much for being with us, Sultan. Before we get to the latest incidents in the Strait of Hormuz and in the territorial waters in Qatar, we've heard that Iran has responded to the latest US proposal. What do you make of that, and especially the timing of it, given it comes hours after we've seen all of these incidents in the Gulf?
I think this is the awaited, response from Iran on the proposal that was sent by the Pakistani mediator. In terms of the Iranian response, what Axios has revealed last week is that there has been a little bit of bridging of positions between both sides. The Iranians might respond to some American demands in terms of giving assurances on the use of nuclear facilities, but they're not willing to destroy or to take away any enriched uranium outside of Iran, at least at the moment. The negotiations are still ongoing. In terms of the attacks that happened today, I think it's a way for Iran to continue putting pressure on oil markets and also on the Gulf states and the Americans to show that they do not want the ceasefire to continue putting pressure on Iran and its own economy. They want continue to pressure on both sides, but this is unaccepted by the Gulf states and the world. I think in terms of building confidence for the future, that will take a lot of time to build up, especially with these continued attacks on Gulf states.
Like you say, this is all seemingly about pressure. Is there a fear that Iran is willing to further degrade its relationship with GCC countries?
I think that fear is there, but I think also for Iran, in terms of any end of the war proposal, they will need to sit down with the Gulf states and with the region as a whole. So in terms of that relationship, and having that geographical neighbor being there all the time, you don't want to lose relationships with them, especially that there is a big Iranian diaspora in the region. So in terms of looking further, rather than just at the direct self-interest that's happening at the decision-making of Iranian regime, there should be a pathway to build relations between both sides.
All right, so that's a little bit of that. If you're just joining us, the conversation was a light conversation, but it's based upon President Trump building and building bridges to end this war in Iran. And Iranian media reports that Tehran has issued its response to the U.S. proposal, and it's not a very warm, welcoming response. So again, if you guys are waiting for a peace deal, most likely it will never happen. And the prince here is just pretty much speaking optimistically as possible, but we're gonna end that report because we're gonna suggest that until this escalation is over with and the military hostilities stop, it's basically going to continue being a confused quagmire, right? I can't get a better word, quagmire. Let's use that word. Anyway, don't hold your breath, folks, and we'll continue on. And got a little news from the UK politics and all the folks in the UK, and Prime Minister is in a little trouble. So if you're joining me, from the UK, what's going on with the UK folks and our folks out there in the UK who are, it seems like you guys are having trouble with your government lately, which, we are as well, no secret. But I'm going to suggest that, the Prime Minister, if he is in trouble right now, maybe he should consider other options. And we'll go ahead and go to the news report of what's going on with the UK and the Prime Minister. Let us know when that report is ready, folks, so we can get right on to it. And we will take it from there. Give us a second. Okay, you got it. All right, here we go.
Is holding a crucial cabinet meeting right now where he's told his ministers he is staying put in his job as pressure mounts on him to resign. UK media reports say his own Home Secretary has urged him to consider his position. Dozens of MPs from his Labour Party have publicly called on him to go, and some of them have resigned as ministerial aides. Starmer has been fighting to keep his job after his party suffered heavy defeats in last week's local elections. Let's cross now to our correspondent Francis Reid, who joins us live from London on the phone. Francis, you were outside Downing Street for us. The UK Prime Minister Starmer telling Cabinet just in the last few moments he is staying put. But it's not as easy as that, is it?
No, it really isn't. And the bigger question is, can he hold on even without support? As you said, he's inside 10 Downing Street at the moment. We've seen various of his closest ministers go in this morning through the door of 10 Downing Street while he's facing his cabinet. So that might be what he's saying, but it's been a roller coaster over 24 hours. First, yesterday, the Prime Minister made a speech that came off the back of these really heavy local election losses across England, particularly to Reform UK and the Greens, as well as losses in Wales and Scotland in national elections there. So he was supposed to do this speech as a reset, but it just didn't deliver what he hoped, what anyone else in his party hoped, or indeed what people in the country had hoped more generally. And while it seemed for a while the danger to his career wasn't imminent yesterday afternoon, as the evening went on yesterday and into this morning, the numbers of MPs calling for him to go officially started ticking up. There's more than 70 at the moment. One minister has now resigned. The Communities Minister has now resigned. So this now feels like a real moment of peril. It feels like it's slipping away from Keir Starmer. He's becoming the story, and it's very difficult to see how he does hold on despite his protestation.
As you say, his party is divided on this. Could we realistically see a resignation today?
It's possible. I mean, if he's saying at the moment that he's not going to, then perhaps he will stick to his guns and see how long he can ride it out. He's got his biography to think of, I suppose, long term, and how history will view him in the long term. And I suppose he will always argue he's really done the most to try to, he will say that he's had a lot of achievements. He will say that he's lifted.
All right, folks, just a little bit of that. If you're just joining us, if you're in the UK, my peeps in the UK, Prime Minister Starmer is facing intense pressure to resign after a minister quit. Over 80 MPs urged him to step down, and that is Not a good look for UK politics and the Prime Minister, and looks like he won't be around too much longer. So, we'll keep an eye on that and keep that going. If you're in the UK, we'll keep you informed about it. You guys are facing a lot of things, and hopefully, if your Prime Minister resigns, maybe he can talk to Mr. Trump about resigning as well, right? All right, here we go. Next, guys, listen. Here we are, and U.S. news and immigration reports indicate that nearly two-third. You hear me? Did I say the number again? 2 in 3 deported since January 2025. Immigration is what we're talking about. Did not have criminal records, right? 2 in 3 men, and I think that extends to others, but I think the report just looked at, the male population. We'll see if we can get an updated report, but it said that they didn't have criminal records, and it's highlighting a shift in the enforcement strategy. So, I think that they're telling us something that we've already known for a while, that immigration was just out there just grabbing people up in the supermarkets and schools and college campuses, and taking them, put them on the back of, buses and putting them in the C-130s and flying them in God knows where, El Salvador or Ecuador or wherever. And, the Trump administration has got a lot of answering to do, to say the least. And what do you guys think? VIPs, what do you guys think about that? Let's really highlight that. I want to highlight that 2 in 3 men deported. That's 66%. 33 did not have criminal records, according to the newest report. And Mr. Trump seems to be in trouble because they were just grabbing folks lock, stock, and barrel. What do you guys think about that, VIPs? Taco is again on bull crap as usual. He doesn't make any sense, and so said this administration is full of games and playing with people intelligent. It's not good. It's not good at all. Thank you, Duchess. All right. So I don't think it's good. I don't think it's really less than not good. It's terrible, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, it's horrendous that, think about it. Your brother, your cousin, your uncle, maybe your father got deported, and it basically just minding his own business, going to the supermarket and getting a bologna sandwich or something like that. And, next thing you know, you hear about he's on the plane to Ecuador. It's not a laughing matter, and I don't want to make fun of it. I think it's pretty pathetic and something that makes my blood boil. And you know what else makes my blood boil? Anyway, we'll keep you guys abreast of what's going on with that. But we're gonna talk about the Urban Report. Speaking of blood boiling, and the labor report now indicates that a whopping let's see, what does it say? Let's see if we can pull up the labor report. But it's showing that the job growth in 2026 as of April, polls are rising. Non-farm polls are showing that positions are rising by 115,000, and the unemployment rate is at a steady 4.3%. 4.3. I want to get this right. All right. As a matter of fact, let's just post that so you guys can keep that in mind. And polls rising, payroll is rising by 115,000, and so basically 115,000 people as of April gained jobs, which is that's pretty good, not bad to say the least. And 4.3% isn't bad either. So we're gonna keep an eye on that and look at job growth. And what else do we have with that? Oh, this marked the second month of solid gains, by the way. So according to the economic reports, second month, and people are gaining jobs, but which is good because they're going to need it for those heavy high gas prices that we're seeing around the country. So let's keep it in mind, and clip that as well. Okay. All right, folks. let's go to the next segment, which is, the segment you all know and love so much. A picture can tell 1,000 words. And if you guys have any, I always have to explain this, but if you have anything that you think is a valuable picture and you want the world to see either now or later, just go ahead and send that to me at Amir Shakur Speaks at gmail.com. And I'll go ahead and I'll post that for you, and I'll let the world share. I'll share and do my part in sharing what it is and its experience. And let's make it monumental. I mean, if it's an anniversary, if it's, whatever it is. And look at the banner also I'm showing. Here's the email that you can send it to. And I love a picture can tell 1,000 words. And let's see what we got today, the picture's pretty telling today, guys. I'm just telling you. Let's see what we got. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Come on, VIPs. I need you. Yeah, I know you won't know, but here it is. Bow. Okay. It's a staff chosen pick from the class of 1986. Let's say the class of 1986. Let me give you a large shot of that. All right. Okay, so let's see. The ultimate lesson is the importance of spiritual awareness and font size. So, you guys got to think about, next time you're doing presentations, I always look at my presentations and I'm like, that's interesting. But while the faculty, spent weeks on planning this dignified ceremony for the class of 1986, whoever decided to put that administrator there, just didn't think too well, or maybe the photographer just did a great job in capturing this moment. But the administrator is conveniently placed, and he turned this picture into a milestone achievement, and then in an honest review of most of the students' view of school life. As the graduate, beams and accepting her diploma. Maybe she's the valedictorian or something, I don't know. But she remains blissfully unaware that the official part is that she is not only the valedictorian or the class president or whatever, she's also the ass of 1986. I didn't say it. They said it. And, definitely a remarkable graduation pic, to say the least. Let me give it to you in full size. It's a graduation photo that captures the spirit of the moment, big hair and, Bon Jovi and all of that other kind of stuff. And questionable fashion choices in the 80s as well. But, it's a sign that perfectly summarizes how most seniors feel about their final exams anyway, I would think. I remember when I was there and, how I felt about it. Hey, I could care less about that stuff, And, they say a picture can tell 1,000 words, but in this case, it's only needed 3 letters to perfectly summarize 4 years of the teenage angst. Oh my God, thank you for this picture. It is hilarious. What do you guys think about this, VIPs? All right. What do you guys think about that? Interesting, right? All right. Thank you. Here's what I'm going to say. Thank you for sharing. And I don't think you're the ass of 1986. I think you probably were a nice young lady who probably is going on to do great things, as a matter of fact, in 86, 96, 2006, 2016. So it's about 50 years ago. So, you probably are going on retirement now if you were in the class of 86 or almost near. But, that's a cool picture. That's funny. Yeah, it is. That is hilarious. All right, guys. So here's the thing. Thank you for sharing your experience. And hopefully you got through that without having PTSD, Very funny. Very funny. So here we are, and we're back again. And, if you guys got a picture can tell 1,000 words, let us know. All right. So let's go ahead and lead. So we're 29 minutes into the segment, and I'm gonna share with you some good news. And basically, here's the good news, guys. My Amir Shakur Speaks Amir Moments editorial, is going to be its own segment starting next month, about 3 weeks, 2.5 to be exact. And what we're doing is we are sharing Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll? The drum roll? Hold on 1 second. Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll? All right, that's not a drum roll. Let's get a drum roll. That's a gong. Drum roll. That's congas. Anyway, let's forget it. Let's say we're gonna start this and we're gonna syndicate this, and the Facebook folks and the LinkedIn folks to the broadcast channel. It's going to be its own segment, and it's going to be a 10-minute urban editorial segment. Amir Shakur Speaks editorial based upon, the goings on in your communities. And, we can speak truth to power. You guys know how I do. Anyway, we're going to end this segment with the editorial. All right. Before I do that, let's go to the VIP room because I want to end the show correctly. All right. What you gotta say, fans? I'm Facebook friends with several of my classmates in high school. Oh, good. Sometimes we want to forget about those folks. Congratulations, Amir, doing great things. I do what I do when I can do it. Pop the collar. All right, here we go. Anyway, so the editorial, I want you to copy this, and let's copy it. And, here's the thing, and I have to get serious for these things. As the world is on the brink of chaos, accountability is fragile in this world, and we are here in the global landscape on today, May 12th, 2026. It's not just shifting, it's fracturing, right? As we navigate in a world where the ceasefire between Washington and Tehran is described as being on a massive life support, right? We're faced with the decision, let's use that word, rather to confront the reality that diplomatic stability is a thing of the past as we know it. And there's a thin veil for deeper, more dangerous tensions that are existing. And all these geopolitical undercurrent, the tightrope that we're having to watch indicates that Iran has allegedly fired over 100 sophisticated missiles at the U.S. warships. But this move is highlighted by an administration that does not work in support of the people, right? As tremendous and strategic as a mistake as the Trump administration makes minute by minute, we're urging the American public to keep holding on. While the diplomatic situation is touted as possible, right? The rhetoric remains fiery and at a frenzy, and the stakes for global security could not be higher at this point. Clip this. It is not merely a regional conflict, but it is a stress that the international media, the international community, and the international pundits, folks like you and I, international citizens, are waiting as we work to bring a clear understanding of even what this war and this escalation is all about. And I don't want to call it a war, I want to call it an escalation. But from Chicago to Ghana, from London to Canada, where's this thing going? Local integrity versus global instability. Closer to home, the metropolitan areas of Chicago and New York and the Bronx and Compton and Watts and Houston and Dallas and Milwaukee. I mean, just several different urban communities. What do these things mean to us? And it's absolutely nothing, but it's draining for us as the American public. So we have to think about the who's, what's, when's, where's, and why's, and the information crisis that we're currently living in an age that in reality it feels fake, right? So we got to be able to strip those layers back, and let's get back to the get-to of what we're getting to, which is basically our lives. Not wordplay. I'm a little bit of wordplay, but I'm serious. We got to get back to our lives, and our mission has to remain steadfast. Whether you're looking at you're turning on the news and you're analyzing news, or even reality TV of a turned presidency that's failing. like none other before. And maybe if he were the reality TV guy, maybe he wouldn't be able to do his collateral damage. But then we see the whole world is now a reality TV show. You understand what I'm saying? So the goal is clear. In the world on the brink, we must be grounded in voices that demand transparency, and they have to resound louder than ever before. Amen. Amen. So let's continue speaking truth to power, standing up and speaking out, and let's do what we have to do in order to make a change happen. You be the change. You be the change. You be the change. Amen. So what do you got to say, VIPs? Peace and love. Peace and love. All right. When will the escalation with Iran end? Hey, if I could put you on the phone with the Trump administration, I would. And then, hopefully they can tell you, but I can't. Taking a stand for local politics is important. Taking a stand for local politics is important, but just remember, this world is a bigger world. So think about the local all the way up until you think about the micro all the way up until the maximum. And, we've got to be able to talk about every segment, because every segment of society needs help. So, there's folks in the national politics who won't be able to go to the community meetings, or there's folks in the local politics who aren't doing the national thing. So every person has to draw his or her line in the sand, right? Say that again. Every person has to draw his or her own line in the sand. You can draw yours. I'll draw mine. Trump will draw his. The governor will draw his, but it doesn't mean that it's not important, but it means that, what we're doing in the individual segments of our society is important. But when we have to come together to raise our voices, that's what's important. So that's what we're going to continue doing. You're going to see me here at 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and then I'll follow up with the Urban Report as we are working towards the goal of, just bringing truth to justice and speaking truth to power. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening in. I appreciate what you have to say. And that's my mission today. I am out. You guys have a great day. Peace.